Hello everyone, today I'm going to show you how to install Fedora 38 on VMware Workstation Pro 17. Of course, this is a desktop hypervisor. You can get it from vmware.com. We can have a 30-day trial version. I'm going to go ahead and go to fedora.org and get the ISO, the image. So that's why you always get the image first of all. So the website is, of course, I'm already on the website, but the website is getfedora.org. So as you hit enter, it takes you to this page. Presently, we have Fedora 38, and we have Fedora 39 still on beta release. I'm gonna go ahead and download the ISO. I'll click on latest release, and then I want to install the Workstation edition, this particular version. Yeah, and then we're gonna come here and just hit download, and then we should be able to get the ISO. When you get on the ISO page, you wanna use this one. Yeah, use that one. It's called Fedora 38 Workstation 38 Live ISO. Download this one, and I have already downloaded it, so I'm just gonna hit download here, and that should download it and send it maybe in your download folder by default. So I already have it, so I don't need to download anymore. I would go ahead and let's begin our installation. Our download is complete, and I will go to Workstation. VMware Workstation Pro. First thing I'm going to do is I'm going to click on File. I'm going to click on New Virtual Machine, and it says recommended. Yes, I choose the recommended options. Next, I'm going to choose the ISO I just downloaded. I click Browse, and I go to my download folder, and this is the ISO. ISO is just an image that has operating system. Back in the days, we used to use CD and DVD, but right now we just have an image compiled. So I'll click on that, double click, and then I'll say next. I'll give the name of the machine. I'll call it nice. Let me call it what? Fedora Power. That's what I'm gonna call my machine. Or let me call it Fedora. Wow, I have a hard time choosing a name. Nice Fedora. We just call it Nice Fedora. So I click next, and the size that I want for storage. I want to give it 20 gig. I haven't so much space in my computer. 20 gig is fine, and it's asking if you want to store it as a single file or multiple files. That's for the image. It doesn't matter. I'll just choose the split virtual disk, and I'm gonna hit next. And it's this options here. I'm building a Fedora. The name of the Fedora is called Nice Fedora. That's the name of my virtual machine. And the operating system is the Fedora 64 bits. It has a 20 gig of hard drive and 2 gig of memory RAM. Now you can click customize. Let's say you wanted to increase the amount of RAM you have. You could just click customize over here, and then you can come here and you can, for example, if I wanted 4 gig of RAM, I could touch here. I just choose the 4 gig of RAM, and it's that easy. It's that straightforward and easy. So the next thing we're going to do is just going to hit close here, and then I'm just going to say finish. Now, when you say finish, it's going to come on automatically because there was an option in the back that says power on upon completion, something like that. So it's just going to come on automatically, and it's just going to start loading. It could take about 5 minutes for Fedora to load because it's going to actually load the entire operating system. It's not like the other ones. I'll show you another ones, but with Fedora, it's just going to take about 5 minutes to load. So with the magic of pausing, I'm going to wait for the splash screens to display, and then I'll choose what I want to do, and then we're going to proceed from there. Let's give it a second. It's doing some background work. This is the one I'm installing. Nice Fedora. Nice Fedora. If you look over here, I'm presently installing this one. It's called Nice Fedora. It's an old one I already have installed, but since I'm doing an example to you guys, I just want you guys to focus on this one that has the play button. Nice Fedora. That's what I want to focus on. And let's give it a minute. It's going to bring a splash screen. And sometimes when you're working, you will discover that you don't have access to your mouse, especially if you click in the hypervisor. But if you look down here, there is clear instructions on how to get your mouse again. It's that easy. It says you should press Control, click in the virtual screen, send strokes. If you want to release it, just press Control and Alt on your keyboard. It should release your mouse for you. There we go. If you look here, Fedora is already booting, and it says booting. This media is going to test the media, but I don't want it to test the media. I was just going to ask it to move straight to installation. Let's give it a few more seconds, please. Now it says CPU stock, but it's actually doing some work. It's going to take maybe 3 to 4 minutes to pass this screen. Let's just be patient. So I've waited for about 5 minutes. It said that there was stock on watchdog, some CPU stuff, but just ignore that message. And through the miracle of pausing, we are now 5 minutes in advance, and it's booting the entire kernel, it's booting the entire operating system. Once that is booted, we are going to proceed with making the installation permanent. It's just booting a live ISO, it's a live CD for you to test it if you like it. And if you like it, you can go ahead and then make the installation a permanent installation. Network Manager is loading right now. Network Manager. And after this, we'll have a splash screen or the desktop environment, and we'll proceed from there. It took me almost 8 minutes to get to this screen. Your laptop might be faster, you might see it earlier than me, and that's fine. And when you get to the screen, you have the possibility of testing Fedora. It's that straightforward. Click here, you have all the icons. You have terminal here, which I really like a lot. But I'm just going to go back to the default screen. Yeah, it says welcome to Fedora. You say not now if you don't want to install it now. But I want to install it now. I'm going to go ahead and say install Fedora. It's going to load in the background, and I'll have an installation page to continue from. And if you look over here at the top of your screen, you will see an icon like this that says install to the hard drive. So that's telling you that the installer is loading. And this is the installations page. Now it's asked for our language. I'm English United States. I'm going to click on continue. Continue. After I continue, it shows keyboard and my time zone. Installation destination is my disk, the 20 gig I created when I was building the system. I'm going to click there. I'm going to choose this is already selected. Just click there and then just click done. You don't have to click on the disk. Just click installation and say done. And the time and date, I'm in the central time. So United States, New York, Chicago is around here. Well, that's Detroit. Indianapolis, Chicago. Yeah, Chicago. You can literally come over here at the top of your screen, and you will see that you actually have Americas here, and then you have the option of choosing Chicago. You can just type Chicago if that's what you want, but put your time zone. Okay, it just depends wherever your location is. And the next thing we're going to do is just going to go ahead, and I've chosen my time zone. I'll click done, and it will take us to the next screen, and we'll begin the installation. Done, and then I'll click here, begin installation. And that's all I had to do. It's that easy. So the installation could take maybe 10 to 15 minutes. I'm going to go ahead and pause this video, and I will show you when it's complete. So it's almost 100% complete, the software installation phase. It's going through the final phases of installation. It's installing the bootloader. It's now finishing the installation, generating initial file system. Our installation is now completed, guys. If you look here, it says completed, and here also finish installation. So all we have to do now is just proceed to reboot the server, and we should be able to continue. It says Fedora is now successfully installed and ready for you to use. Go ahead and reboot the system to start using it. I'm going to click finish our installation. Click on finish installation, and let's wait a second. Now that you finish installation, you can reboot Fedora. But one thing I will do, I want to disconnect the ISO before I even reboot, because I don't want it to find itself in a loop where it continues to install the same thing over and over. I'll come over here on Fedora. You can take a look at my mouse over here, right over here on the Fedora. That's the one I created, nice Fedora. I'm gonna go over there and I'm gonna right click on it. I'm gonna go to settings. When I get to settings, you see I'll come to the fourth one, CD DVD. We come here on CD DVD, like right here. Once you select on that, what you want to do is click on this one to disconnect the device, untick connect on power on. Do those two and we should be good to go. Okay, whatever I say, yes. Our Fedora installation is rebooting on its own, and if yours doesn't reboot, you can come after the installation is complete over here at the top of your screen. You look right over here, right over here. I'll click on this little drop down arrow, and I'm gonna go ahead and I'll say restart guest. Restart guest. That should take care of rebooting Fedora for you. And once that is done, your installation is absolutely completed, and you can proceed to create your first user. Let's say it boot and then we'll continue from there. If you experience any issue restarting, you can come back to the same place and you actually shut down the guest completely before you start it up again. So I actually had to shut down my guest. I'm gonna hit power on, start it on, and that is it. Fedora is complete. The installation is complete. And your servers boot to this screen. So you start the setup. Start setup. Next. Enable third-party repositories is fine. Next, it wants your name. My name is Stanislaus. Debit, my username, I like to make it as debit. Then you say next. Your password. Then you repeat the same password again. All done, and start using Fedora. That's all done, guys. So I could literally click here, make it full screen, and it's loading up. I use 2 gig of RAM, but maybe you want to use 4 gig of RAM. 4 is not bad. You'll give it a second and some applications are gonna load. There we go. It wants to give you a tour. I'm not interested in a tour. These are the applications. Everything's installed on Fedora. So use 4 gig of RAM and just have one virtual machine running every time. Like you don't want to run Kali and Fedora at the same time, both using 4 gig of RAM, and you have only a 16 gig laptop. So I would go ahead and thank you for following this tutorial. If you have any questions, put it under the comment below and I will answer you. Thank you.